Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you today. I thought with all the seriousness I've been talking about recently with Meghan and the stuff going on with her dad and Harry and begging for security once again, I thought we need a little comic relief, don't we? And don't worry, those two always come through when we need it. Good news, Meghan finally won an award. She's been dying to win one or buy herself one. She won one. You want to know what it is? Trust me, you do. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos, and I sincerely appreciate that. Yeah, that's right. Meghan has won an award. She's been named Holiday Hypocrite. She's actually named Villain of the Year. Congratulations. She probably actually likes that award. She was named Villain of the Year by iconic Hollywood trendsetter. Let's take a look, shall we? This is courtesy of Daily Mail. Award season is fast approaching. Wow, I'm very Southern today. Approaching in Hollywood, but Meghan Markle has already been given a gong that she may not be too keen on. Who are we kidding? Meghan loves to win awards. Let's take a look. That one has been named as Villain of the Year, dun dun dun, by LA Boutique, whose owners have also branded her a Montecito Diva. The Daily Mail can reveal today. So, guys, if you're new or if you're like, what is this? You remember that store, Kitson? I think is how you pronounce it. It's that store in Hollywood. They're on Robertson Boulevard. They named her as Villain of the Year. She's featured in Rogue's Gallery of Hollywood Hypocrites as part of a scathing Christmas display. And don't worry, her friend Gavin Newsom's also in the display. But yeah, so it's Gavin Newsom, George Clooney, Katy Perry, and of course, Meghan. Wait till you see the picture. I've got it. But their so-called Hollywood Hypocrisy window display has become famous in LA since it began in 2020. This year Meghan makes the list as she's featured in a mocked-up magazine cover where she and other public figures are made to look silly. Are they made to look silly? Or they're doing things that are silly? And they're called out on it in Santa hats. That one has Montecito Diva on it. Meghan's cover features headlines where she and Harry are branded the most unpopular kids in school because they are disliked by Americans. Another is about Meghan's As Ever jam, made in a factory 2,000 miles from her home in California. And another claiming she flouted a no dogs rule at a Montecito farmer's market by bringing a pet. I remember that. One of her many calls to Backgrid called the paparazzi on herself to a place where she's not supposed to have the pet, where she's bringing the pet. Okay. There was also a nod to a recent Harper's Bazaar feature revealing how she was announced. She was announced to a room with one person in it. How ridiculous is she? Her most recent decision to wear $82,000 worth of jewelry on her Netflix holiday special is also cited. And there's a disparaging headline claiming Meghan is a hypocrite because she won't let go of her royal status. I would say that's about one of 100 reasons why I think she's a hypocrite. This is something I like to talk about a lot in my videos. I think it's really funny. I think it's funny that the Kitson display is mocking celebs who preach holiday cheer and virtue signaling while living large. So, like Meghan, it's her jet setting, family vacations, things like that infamous 4 private jet trip in 11 days back in 2019, while they're preaching climate change and eco-friendly causes through Archwell. Absolutely crazy. She and Harry dropped 14.7 million on that Montecito mansion with ocean views and security gates while she supposedly advocates for the underprivileged. Picture perfect holiday cards from a gated paradise while lecturing on inequality. It's like posting about minimalism from a walk-in closet, right? It's everything else that they do always. It's just so funny. The silence on her dad's health crisis, although claiming she got in touch with him, you know, it's all the health things he's been through. She was completely silenced on that. And then she preaches family unity and stuff on these Netflix shows. So talk about hypocrisy there. I would say that might be peak hypocrisy. She and Harry ditched the royal family. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying good for the royal family, but they're clinging on to the titles while calling them the S words. It can go on and on. It's just peak hypocrisy. So I think that's really funny. These pretentious pivots and yeah, I think it's fantastic. But flashback to 2023, Kitson already roasted Harry and Meghan in their Hollywood hypocrisy window, which I think is fantastic, for their eco faux pas, featuring their photos as prime examples of the private jet preaching customers, nominating them, and it was a holiday hit right in their own LA backyard. I think that's fantastic. The store founder, Fraser Ross, spilled on podcasts about holding her former friend, Jessica Maroney, accountable and refusing to stock anti-royal books like Endgame. Kitson's been low-key anti-Sussex since their move, blending retail with these jabs. I think that's, amazing. Good for Kitson. If I lived anywhere in the area, I'd probably support that business. Think about the Gavin Newsom twist, friend turned fellow villain. So Newsom, of course, California's governor, vocal Sussex ally. He video called them in 2021, defended Archwell amid his 2024 delinquency drama. He even praised their wildly overhyped charity woes. Now he shares the villain spotlight with them. And I think that's pretty great. And that's with his own policy flip flops. So, as our Montecito neighborhood and Netflix collaborator, rumors of cameos in her cooking show, his inclusion highlights shared Hollywood elite hypocrisy, preaching progressive values while living in luxury. It's subtle shade on their circle's bubble. I think that's fantastic. So, from charity cheerleaders to villain buddies, Newsom's spot next to Meghan proves even A-list allies can't escape the hypocrisy spotlight. Again, I think it's also funny that their buddy George Clooney is there as well. I think this is interesting because it's not, let me put the picture of Meghan up. Hold on. So you can see Meghan's picture here. And I just find this all so funny. It's more than like just gossip or a way to sell t-shirts or whatever. I think it's LA's annual takedown of the virtue signaler starting again in 2020 to call out like pandemic era fakers, naming Meghan signals Hollywood's fatigue with her narrative, especially the post-Spare backlash. I think that's really funny. Again, it's interesting timing dropped among this, health crisis her dad's going through and people calling out her awful behavior there. And to take it a step further, she's alleged to have set up the reason that she no longer speaks to her father anyway in that paparazzi situation from around the time of the wedding. So again, hypocrisy at its finest. I think that's fantastic. I think it's a wake-up call that, so many people have already turned on Harry and Meghan, but I think it's interesting that even in their own backyard, so many people are obviously very much anti-Harry and Meghan. And I just think this is really funny timing. Let's look at the others again, shall we? Because I think that's funny as well. So here is Katy Perry being called out as well. Remember the space? This has been quite a year, hasn't it? But that horrible space flight, I think is really funny. And then, of course, Gavin Newsom also called out along with George Clooney. Here's some comments from the article that say, disaster tourist, humanitarian of the year. Thank you. Yes, humanitarian of the year. Well, ignoring her dad, but then pretending to reach out. I can't prove it, but I feel like it's all pretend pretending at this point that she's reached out. I think it's interesting. And I said in a previous video, I was able to get in touch with Thomas Markle Jr., but Meghan can't get in touch with him or her dad or anything. That's kind of weird. Disaster tourist humanitarian of the year for sourcing t-shirts, walking around burnt out neighborhoods for photo ops, hugging their R12 employee. It has been quite a year for them. She should get a trophy for this. Harry can get a dunce cap. There you go. Who says he doesn't already have one? Oh, is that all the comments I pulled? I guess so. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. We could use the comic relief. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I really want to know your thoughts on all this. What do you think? Do you live in the area? Have you ever been in this store? I find it funny. The thing I remember about the stores when the Angelina Jolie versus Jennifer Aniston stuff was going on, I know they were big at selling the Team Aniston versus Team Pitt or Jolie, I guess, at the time, and other things like that. I think even they were pointed out to have sold Team Harry and Meghan versus Team William and Catherine. So, yeah, that's pretty funny. And last I heard, I think William and Catherine's shirt had outsold Harry and Meghan's. I just find that funny. I'm petty like that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff like this, definitely let me know that as well. Thank you for all the comments lately, all the hype, all the thumbs up. It really does help my channel so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I hope you have the best day. Bye-bye. Hi. What do you think? It's dark blue. It's velvet. I love it. It looks black on camera, but it's blue. And I like this chain too. I think this is really fun. It goes like way on down there. We'll leave it at that. One of my friends asked if I was wearing a bathrobe. No, it's a fabulous blue velvet shirt. I just think it's so pretty and so fun. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, I think this is great. I really do. Anytime we can just have some laughs and keep it a little bit lighter, I'm in for that. Nobody got hurt in this. I think this is funny. I feel terrible for Thomas Markle right now. My heart goes out to him and family going through the medical stuff. Nobody wishes ill on him. And I find it sickening the way, in my opinion, Meghan seems to be using that for publicity. So it's kind of nice just to do something a little lighter in this video here. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. If you stayed tuned this long, I don't know, are you into velvet? Comment in the comments below. I don't mean on me. I mean in general. Do you like to wear velvet this time of year? I do. I think it's so fun. I'm really into it right now. I have a bunch of different colors of velvet shirts that I'm into. So I'm sure you'll be wearing this. I'm sure you'll be seeing this. My goodness, you'll see me wearing this is what I'm trying to say. My goodness. Anyway, I'm out of it today. Hope you guys have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Goodness gracious. Can't talk today. Sheesh.